What is going on, everybody? It is the legendary LaShawn here, and I am back at you with another video. I know I've been going for a long time. To be honest, I didn't really feel motivated to make content. Didn't really feel like doing it, didn't have the motivation. But, if I'm honest, the recent influx of content, because, this year seems like it's going to be fantastic for gaming. But, if I'm honest, especially Street Fighter 6, the influx of content has really got me feeling amped and really feeling motivated to make more content. And so we go and get into it and can we honestly talk just about the fact, or I shouldn't say fact, because it's definitely my opinion, but I feel like it's a very objective one because I'm trying to take in, especially I've been sticking with Street Fighter, and on the topic of Street Fighter, I've been sticking with Street Fighter 5 for a very long time, since that game came out. Switching through different characters, waiting until Cody got there, trying to stick with it, right? But it's funny how it seems like people are having more fun and enjoyment, anticipation, and excitement because of a demonstration of Street Fighter 6 than all of the lifespan of Street Fighter 5. In my opinion, of course, but I'm honestly thinking about it. Even through the beginning, the launch of Street Fighter 5 was disastrous. A lot of people were not happy, right? And then even if you get to Arcade Edition, and then you have you have some of the different people that people wanted to see, like Cody and Sagat and stuff like that. And then you had fun characters that people really enjoyed, like G, but then you have the Abigail fiasco and how really stupid and ridiculous that whole entire thing was. The large portion of Street Fighter 5 was really not satisfactory to a lot of people. And to be honest, the best state of Street Fighter 5 is now. At the end of it, when you have all the characters, all the stages, all the different stuff, where even now the game is severely lacking in content. And now, seriously, through the first teaser, of Luke and Ryu about to go at it, and people just dissecting every little frame of that video. Excuse me, my allergies are killing me. People going through just that one, every little frame and the little that was shown from there, to getting told in that verse trailer about the game mechanic, the focal game mechanic, which was the drive system, all the way up into the new characters like Marissa, like Lily, like JP. I've seen whole theory videos about JP and who he is as a villain, especially now since it's been confirmed that JP indeed does use psycho power. Just the hype for this game has been just swelling and swelling up, as opposed to Street Fighter 5, where it really was going down and down, because as the game went on, from the trailers, they started to take more and more stuff away. And with Street Fighter 6, it seems like we're learning so much about this game and about the possibilities that the drive system opens up. And it's interesting because, for the longest time, I've been trying to stick with Street Fighter 5, but it's really difficult. I'm a Cody main. Been playing Cody since, I was a kid. Started playing him in Alpha 3. I loved his story. I love the fact that he could break Hadokens with just pebbles, with rocks. I love the fact that when he uppercutted so strongly that a tornado got formed. Loved it, right? And then in Street Fighter 4, I started off playing Ryu because I really liked him as a character. I liked the whole journey of strength that he was on. The whole Wandering Samurai thing was really dope to me. But then in Super Street Fighter 4, when Cody came back, I was right on him. I was super excited to have him back. He had this really dynamic play style. And then he had these really nasty frame traps. He had super cool abilities. One of my favorite moves was his Zonk Knuckle, where his Zonk Knuckle was really good to use against fireballs and stuff like that, because it had different frames of invincibility for each strength. and then you had the EX, which was just completely invincible. And so like Street Fighter 4, really really fun. The game had problems getting balanced at certain points, like with Arcade Edition and stuff like that. But Cody was always, I mean not always, but for most of the game, and I would say for all of the game for the most part, he was a relatively strong character. He had really good rushdown and really good frame trap, so he was a very viable character. Not top tier, but very viable and somebody that you had to watch out for, right? In this game, Street Fighter 6, I don't have Cody, at least not yet. I really can't see them not putting him in the game, because it's like it takes place in Metro City, and especially for the things that's going on, it just would make sense that the mayor would be kind of handling his business and stuff. I mean, we already got confirmation that Mike Hagar, he did his thing. He helped to kind of semi-clear the streets of like the crazy crime and things that was going on, kind of like take away the large syndicates and stuff to a point where like people can be a little bit safer than they was, and you don't have like these huge final fight sequences with like crazy kidnappings and all this other stuff, right? So hopefully he'll be in the game, but even so, the game is so fun in what it allows. It seems like the focus is on fun and enjoyment and self-expression, right? Case in point, right? I was watching an episode of Sets, the most recent one, and for the longest time, I didn't watch it because I got tired of Street Fighter 5 and of seeing the same thing, same combos, all that other stuff. It got predictable, right? But when I looked at the thumbnail, it said it was for Street Fighter 6 for the demo, and so that really stuck out to me. So I was like, geez, we already making like whole first to tens over a demonstration, over a demo, not even the full game, right? And so it was Problem X versus, I think, this other guy named Joker Jokes or something like that. I can't remember exactly what his name was. But it was only Ryu and Luke in the demo, right? And Problem X, he's a Bison player. Now, Bison is dead, and I kind of hope that he stays going for a while. Like, I don't want him to just never come back, but I kind of hope that he stays going for a while. But he was playing Ryu, and he made it very clear, like he even said in the video, that he's not a Ryu player. He really doesn't want to play Ryu. He doesn't think, he thinks that Luke is like, way stronger than Ryu and stuff like that. But he was talking about how the system is so fun, enjoyable, and expansive in the way that it allows for creation, that he was still enjoying himself. Like, it was crazy how much that he was enjoying himself, right? And, when I first started, like, getting into the betas and stuff like that, I already saw that it was going to be, like, really creative. But I thought that there were certain things that were going to be hard for, like, casuals and stuff to really grip onto, and that they would probably be kind of boxed into just World Tour mode to kind of feel like they're really being strong. But then once I saw, of course, the rank system, but also in the Sets video that I was watching, the other player, Joker, he did something that was really simple. He did Luke's, what is it? I think that's the heavy punch. What is it? No. He did a heavy punch punish counter into the crouching heavy punch, and then did his light flash knuckle, the perfect charge, right? And so then after that, he did a drive rush, and all he did was go into lights. He went into like 3 lights and just took Problem X all the way to the corner. Now, Problem X won the set. He won the first to 10, but the fact that you don't have to do like all these crazy different buttons. If you want, you could just do a bunch of lights and get your opponent to the quarter. You could do some more creative stuff, and it's like I said, even with this demo, we're finding out so much about the characters just in Ryu and in Luke, where people knew, or most people knew, that Luke has a air, I forgot what the move is called, but basically he does his quarter circle back punch in the air, right? And people really didn't know what it was for. They didn't really understand like why that was given to him. But recently, somebody did a combo where they found that you can use it in the corner, and it gets you some really good damage if you charge it to the right height. You can be able to get a level 1 or a level 2 out of it. And so it's really interesting to see how expansive that the system learns from. How expansive the system is and how it allows for so much creativity. Like, even in playing the computer, and on that alone, my mind was blown because I'm hearing words like fun, it's enjoyable, like this computer is a scrub. Like it was hilarious. I was watching Mike Ross and Shin play the computer, and Mike was like, "Yo, the computer, I feel like he's trash. Like I feel like I could beat him." And Shin was like, "Yo, the problem is you gotta stop playing him like he's a real person and actually play him like a computer." Because the thing is, they kind of struck like this really interesting balance of like input reading to like the computer trying to do resets, allowing you to do footsies. Sometimes the computer will take it easy on you, or sometimes it'll like kind of whiff a button and allow itself to be whiff punished. And it kind of does have a pattern, but the pattern switches up based on how well you're doing. So it's like the computer, facing the computer on the hardest difficulty, even though it may not be necessarily good for you to learn how to fight against actual people online or, you know, in a set or whatever else. What it is good for is being able to heighten your level and understanding of the game and its mechanics. Because the computer won't just go for something that's the highest damage. Like, there's been plenty of times where I've been in like kill range and I know the computer can kill me, but it doesn't, because it wants to show off the drive system. So it'll focus on doing like, you know, the drive rushes from like the mediums and the heavies and stuff like that, right? Or there's just times where it'll go for a reset. So it's interesting. The better that I got, the computer started doing new moves that it hadn't done before. So it started getting better with my air to airs, and then the computer started using that the air punch move that Luke has, and then on top of that, it started using drive reversal on me. And nobody has been using drive reversal. And normally, like all the times that I played, the computer was not using drive reversal like at all. But then when I started like getting like a couple like two games out of threes, I would get a couple of those for like the sets or whatever, because you can only play 3 games. Then it started using that drive reversal to kind of get me to back up and stuff, because it would try to randomly throw out the drive impact, and I was ready for it after a certain point. I got used to it, and so it was just really interesting to me, and I'm really, I would say fairly certain that, I mean, from here, it really can only go up. I mean, World Tour is going to be phenomenal. Like, I'm really, really excited to see more so, like, not just the world, but to see also possibly the other side characters that they put in there, because for the longest time, like, Capcom's biggest problem was that they seemed like they, like, forgot about literally the fact that they were, like, responsible for so many people's childhood with, like, all these different characters and stuff like that. What's the chances that there could be a Mega Man character in there? What's the chances that maybe Strider could be on a rooftop? I know Maximilian showed in his video that when you went to one of the buildings in Metro City, there's like this weird Capcom superhero guy that's just chilling on a roof, and Max fought him, and Max was like way under level, so like it took a while, but he was able to like do the footsies and everything else. Also the fact that there's like this huge emphasis on getting the casuals to where they need to be, not at the level where they could beat pros, but at the level where they actually understand what's happening, teaching them fundamentals. Even though they got the definition of footsies wrong, I think they did that on purpose. Either the translation was wrong, or they did that on purpose so that people could just get a basic concept of what it was when you're just playing the game. Even in World Tour mode, when the NPCs are like whiffing these huge buttons and then they glow white, that's them teaching casual people about like counter hits. And I feel like even for a person like me, it's really good, and it's really encouraging to like hear that stuff, because a lot of times when you play a fighting game and stuff like that, it's not always a fighting game that people want to play, because it relies a lot on you making good decisions. So it's like you can't blame the game, or you can't, you know, I mean, well, you can, but essentially you really have to make the right decision, right? But how are you supposed to make the right decision if you don't understand what's going on? It's kind of like if you play chess, but you don't know what any of the pieces do. You don't know the different kinds of pieces and in what direction they can move, right? It's not until you actually learn what chess piece does what. What's the difference between a rook, a knight, you know, the queen, the king, all of that stuff, that you actually get a sense of what you need to do, and then it actually becomes fun figuring out your opponent. And essentially, that's what fighting games is. It's like, you know, a different version of chess. And so it really seems like this is going to like shape up to be one heck of a game, man. Like this is going to be amazing. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is going to be a dud, or do you think that this might be possibly the best Capcom fighting game of all time? What characters are you guys going to play? What stages are you guys looking forward to? What kind of character are you going to make in World Tour mode? What kind of things do you think that should be added from the game? What kind of things do you guys think should be taken away? Tell me in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see y'all all later.
Nothing stops this train! Solar plexus straight! Super art to show them what a PhD in fighters can do for you! Wait, what? Are they actually dead? Are they dead? Oh, they're dead! What a way to close it out! Player 1 is a force to be reckoned with!